Sure, it was a really politically correct line. Politically correct. Oh, Skip, I see your face looking over there. I like what he said. I like what he said because it was politically correct. I see you over there, Skip. But the answer to that is no. You're not in first place because you just lost to the Washington football team. You're not in first place at all. That team's off this week, which that team will come back next week to play the bottom New York Giants. So, I mean, yeah, it's a great company line if we win this week, but I don't even see this team don't even show no fight. They don't compete. They look like they've simply given up. And it's so many weeks left in the season. And, you know, week after week is first it was Zeke when I have it on my back. I got to do better. This is my loss. And it's like, I know Ezekiel Elliott like really, really well. And when Zeke did best, you know, he just came out and he talked to his play. All of this talking in the media every week, it's a different guy saying we just need to win. The energy is baloney. It's terrible. Like, you just get tired of hearing it. And you're just a bad football team. There shouldn't be a lot of talking coming out of a 2-5 or is it 2-6, whichever one they are. Shouldn't be too much talk coming out of that locker room. They should have got together as a team. You know, the leaders on that team, the guys on that team who are supposed to be leaders, and just get better every day. Just try and look better every week. But this team has progressively looked worse and worse. And now there's no Dak Prescott to have these meaningless stat games. You know, I'm not taking nothing away from Dak, but there's no Dak to have the excitement. It's just like, at this point, you're getting tired of even seeing this team on TV.
Yeah, I've been tired. But the thing is, the problem that I have with Zeke should have never said, you know, I'm going to step up and be a leader, because if you're going to be a leader, you don't need to tell us you're going to be a leader. You just go out there and play, and then that'll speak to your leadership and go out there and do things. And I agree with you, O. That was the politically correct thing to say. But you know what, guys? Look, I'm not even worried about the call. We're just going to go play our best football, and at the end of the game, we'll see and at the end of the year, we'll see where we are. But we just need to win a game. They look awful. They're awful. And the offensive line, Skip, even if you get Zach Martin back, you still got two bad tackles. Mm-hmm. And the one thing the Eagles can do is that they can get after your quarterback.
Yeah. By the way, Looney might be back at center too, but still two bad tackles.
They do two bad tackles. Right. And so, go ahead, O.
But I'm sorry to cut you off. But what do you think that if you couldn't block the Washington football team, what do you think Fletcher Cox thinking right now?
Hey, but the thing is, Washington built their team. If you look at they front 5, 6, they're all first rounders. You look at Kerrigan, you look at Chase Young, you look at the two Payne, you look at Allen, you look at Sweat. All those guys are first round draft picks. Okay, you go to the Eagles, you look at Brandon Graham and Curry, you look at Barnett, you look at Fletcher Cox. They're built to go get your quarterback. And you know Jim Schwartz put you in the wide 9 and say, go get him.
Will.
Absolutely.
Go get him, and that's where that
put you in a wide 9. He's gonna put you in these one-on-one situations.
Yes.
He's gonna put these tackles on islands, and you know, if this team does not like have a gut check and say we're gonna compete and not embarrass ourselves, Philadelphia will definitely try and embarrass them. I've been on the other side. There's not an ounce of love there, and ain't an ounce of love in Dallas for Philadelphia, and they would definitely try to embarrass you. And Philly is one of those teams who they believe. I give it to them that they believe. They believe even when they shouldn't believe, and they know that maybe it's not what they think, but they do definitely believe. And they're looking at it here saying, we've been through all of these injuries. Now Dallas has no quarterback. They're terrible on defense. This is our opportunity.
And the thing is, before you go, Skip, the one thing you can do against that wide 9, you can run. If you can't run the football against that wide 9 that Jim Schwartz play, you can't beat that team, because they're going to pin you, they're going to put you a yard outside of that tackle, and they're coming. As simple as that, Dallas. Zeke, this better be your game. You better run it.
How about if I have a rookie 7th round draft pick at quarterback? How about that?
You in a heap of trouble, Skip.
Ben DiNucci.
Ben DiNucci. Thank Madison.
There's also not an ounce of mercy in the Philadelphia Eagles. This is going to get ugly quickly. The Cowboys are now a 9.5-point underdog. Think about that. 9.5-point underdog at Philly, and I don't think it's nearly enough. I think it's going to be way more than that. I already told you, this could be like 40-3.
They're going to blow up. They'll blow up. The Cowboys will blow up. They'll blow up.
I don't remember when Philadelphia beat anybody by 10 points. It's been a long time.
Well, just watch, because my team has fallen hopelessly behind for 6 straight games. Even to the New York Football Giants at Jerry World, my team was down 17-3 in the second quarter, early in the second quarter. Is that more than 10?
But 14 in 6 straight games.
Thank you.
Skip and Shay, can I take you back a little bit? We talked a few weeks ago about coaching. Now, At what? It looks like they progressively getting. Are the players getting worse? Because it's the same players. Or does people have time to see what they're doing schematically and their coaching, and our team scheming them, and the players are just bad? Which one would you say?
They have quit on the coaches, the new head coach, and especially the new defensive coordinator. And Jerry Jones just got rid of all the free agents he signed on defense in the offseason because every one of them was bucking the new system. They were all clashing with Mike Nolan, and he said, I'm going to get rid of all of them.
Jerry.
Who vouched for him? Who vouched for him?
Jerry did.
Shay, you know Jerry don't know no Daryl Worley. He didn't know that guy before he walked in. Somebody walked in to him and said, we want to sign this guy.
But,
and can you sign off on it?
But here's the thing.
They said, we want to sign 30 pounds, overweight Don Terry Poe. Can you sign off for it?
But here's the thing, Skip. What does Jerry always say? Jerry say, from the time I set foot in this building, I had final say on everything. And it's always been like that. So let Jerry tell it. Jerry knows what's going on.
I'll tell you this, he knows what's going on Sundays because he watching the film. But somebody brought him the menu and said, this is a good restaurant. And then he went there and said, oh, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to sign the bill. But when he left, he said, this is a terrible restaurant. The food wasn't cooked.
Okay, back to the Zeke quotes. This is exactly what I did not want to hear from the best player I have left on my team, the de facto leader of the team. I don't want to hear, hey, if we win, we're in first place, right? He's asking the media. And then he said, we're right where we want to be. You're right where you want to be? Are you kidding me? If I look back to the last 13 games last year, what happened? How many times did they fall? Remember what happened? Green Bay? They fell behind 31-3 to Green Bay.
Yes.
This is a recurring nightmare pattern that this team is going through. And he's saying we're right where we want to be. I need to hear some anger. I need to hear some sick and tired, some urgency, some watch this. Or the truth is, I don't really need to hear anything. I need to see something, right?
Yep.
I need to see. You've seen a team's body language. Orlando's been on teams where you came out at kickoff and I could just sit and watch my TV and I just knew you came to play that day as a football team, right? I have not seen that for going back 2 years for my team, not for 2 years.
But he got a little bit of that Jason Garrett in him. That's who he was raised by.
Oh, so that is still Jason Garrett's fault.
Hold on 1 second. No, I'm not blaming anybody, but that's what he was raised up in. And, all of our team meetings started off as, don't worry about what they're saying outside. We got everything we want right in front of us. If we handle our business, we got everything we want right in front of us. And essentially, that's what he's trying to say. But they haven't handled their business since this season started.
They hadn't handled their business since the last half of last year. So that's why they got rid of Jason Garrett. And Skip told me they got them a made man. They got Mike McCarthy. But you didn't realize how good that guy up in Lambeau, how much he covered for Mike. You're starting to see.
You mean Brett Favre?
There you go. You talk about. Well, think about it. All he's ever had was Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. You better win a bunch of games over with those quarterbacks, right?
I mean, but Jerry knew that before he decided to hire this, before he decided to only interview 2 coaches.
Exactly.
That you interviewed Marvin Lewis, and then you had a guy spend the night at your house with all them nice hotels in Frisco, all them nice hotels in Dallas.
Yep.
All them nice places to stay. Could have even got the man an Airbnb.
First
of
all,
him stay at your house.
Oh, you and I both know that he only interviewed Marvin Lewis because that was the Rooney Rule. He did that, got that at the way. But once he got
go there.
Stop it. You know D well he was not hiring no Marvin Lewis. Okay, you might not want to go there, but let's go ahead and speak fact. He identified.
By the way, he should have.
Yeah.
He should have.
He identified who he wanted. That's why he didn't interview. Remember, because they asked him, did you talk to Lincoln Riley? No, I ain't talking to Lincoln Riley. All these great young none of them. He identified his guy because all Jerry looks at, just like Don Terry Poe, just like Everson Griffin, just like he looks at the name, Mike McCarthy, Super Bowl. That was a long time ago. Don Terry Poe, Pro Bowl, long time ago. Clinton Dix, long time ago. Gerald McCoy, Pro Bowl, long time ago. Jerry likes splash. Jerry likes designer, even though it does not go with what he has. Fact.
So essentially you're saying he likes vintage. Vintage designer.
Once you make a Pro Bowl, that's on your resume. But if I make a Pro Bowl in year 2 and I'm in year 14, hold on, wait a minute, bro. That was many, many years ago. And you signed Don Terry Poe. So are you telling me Don Terry Poe gained 40 pounds since the season started, Skip? You and I both know Don Terry Poe ain't gained no 40 pounds since the season started. He's been overweight.
I think he was overweight when he did his physical to come in. But to my point, what I said about Mike McCarthy a couple weeks ago, and I'm not blaming the coaches, but I think at some point this guy is kind of old school. It's not resonating with these guys. We're in a different time. We're in a social media time, and I think the time that we're in, the coaches that you're seeing having the most success are the coaches that can adapt to the younger culture and the younger coaches.
Let me tell you what's not resonating. That defensive play. That's what's not resonating. Now, we can blame the coaches. Now, we blamed the coach we blamed Jason Garrett last year. We got a new
but
staff.
you don't go from like upper half, even middle of the pack to dead last.
Hold on.
It's dead last. They can't stop They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. And every single player that they have is playing worse. So either you're telling me everybody went home and over COVID because of quarantine, they got worse, or the scheme that they're playing in is terrible.
Skip just told me they fell behind with Green Bay by 31-3. Now, we've seen this a reoccurring theme. They fall behind, and then Dak has to do theatrics to get them back respectable. They're still falling behind.
Green Bay 31-3.
And they're still losing.
That was a great team, and sometimes you're just gonna not have it. It's just not gonna be your day. You know that, Shannon. Let me just finish.
I know them your guys, but them guys playing garbage on defense.
I've never said they haven't, but just let me speak facts.
So, Orlando, sum this up. Can you see this team winning one more game? Because I cannot.
It's going to be hard, and I'm going to go back to Shannon because I feel like I can't let